In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to get the kind of money that you deserve. I'm going to teach you exactly how to negotiate for that salary that is appropriate, that is fair, and that is something that will leave you feeling like you got what you deserved. Come on back. How's it going, Nez Nation? It is so great to see you. It is I, Professor Nez, executive career coach, personal branding coach, online business strategist. Just in case you're new to this channel, I've got an entire playlist on my YouTube channel. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go to youtube.com/Professor Nez. I'll leave links in the description down below on unbelievable interview questions, job search advice, video interview success, how to master your video interview, tons of free videos in the description down below. You just go and click on that little show more button, click on that little part that says, open up the description, and you'll see all these amazing links to unbelievable videos that you can go check out and to advance your career. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about specifically how to negotiate your salary. This is one that I've been getting a lot from you guys, and I want to break this down step by step. I'm going to make it so comprehensive, so easy to understand that you're going to be able to rock that negotiation, and you're going to get the kind of salary that you deserve, the salary that you want, okay? So let's jump right into it. Without further ado, here we go. So first of all, you have to have the right mindset walking into a negotiation, okay? You put in all this work, and now you've got this offer. Do not diminish the value of your worth, okay? Don't feel like you have to settle. Don't feel like, I can't walk away from this negotiation. I have to absolutely get this job. I have to take whatever they give me. If you go in with that mentality, you're going to end up settling for a salary that you don't want, and they're going to really get the impression that maybe this person doesn't value themselves as much as we thought they would. So they're going to give you a number, and obviously you don't want to accept that first number. You always want to make sure that you express this phrase. Always say this: can you please give me some time to think it over? Be nice, be humble, be courteous. Thank you so much. I appreciate this offer. Do you mind giving me some time to think this over? And usually they'll say something like, well, how long do you need? Just say like at least a day or two just to think this over. I'd like to talk to my wife. I'd like to talk to my husband. Never just say yes right away, okay? Never say yes. That's the first thing. But getting back to mindset, getting back to expectations, this is what you should always expect. Expect and appreciate and, understand that you may have to walk away from this deal with your dignity intact and that you're not going to settle. And so be prepared. Again, mindset. Be prepared that you may have to just, say no. And, if you're not getting what you want, if you're not getting the type of number that you deserve, that you feel that you've earned through your hard work and through your track record in your career, be prepared to simply stand up, say thank you very much, shake their hand, and walk away. You have to be prepared for that because nobody wants to hire somebody who's desperate, and you don't want to come across as somebody who's desperate. I know that this is a difficult time right now as of this recording, and any offer that you get, you're almost like, yes, I understand that, I get it, but be prepared because you really have to value yourself. This is important. You've worked your butt off and you deserve a certain number. Okay, and let's talk about numbers. You should always have two numbers in your head. Okay, two numbers in mind when you're going into a negotiation. The first number should always be your desired salary. That should be your first number. Okay, what you want, what you desire. And then the second one should be the salary that not you're willing to compromise for, but the salary that you're willing to live with. Okay, so you want to have an idea also of a salary range when you go into a negotiation. Do your due diligence, do your research on the position, find out what is the minimum, what is the high value, what is the median range for the salary of the position that you're accruing, the position that you're getting. And negotiations should be reasonable, they should be objective, they should be fair, and they should just basically be logical. And so you want to always make sure that you can back it up with data. So there's great ways that you can find this out, by the way. LinkedIn has a salary insights feature on their platform. You guys know I'm an executive career coach. I'm a consultant for LinkedIn. I help members with their LinkedIn profile, with their resume. Shameless plug. I've got a bunch of links in the description down below. If you're interested in learning more about that, I can definitely help you. You can go to Salary Insights on LinkedIn, and you can also go to Glassdoor. You can go to places like salary.com, and you can learn what types of pays and salary ranges are for that specific geographical location. This is very, very important. And then also, here's another way that you can kind of research this. Again, doing your due diligence is find out from your network. Find out from, your connections. Find out from the people that you are associated with, people that are located within your ecosystem. Find out, who people in the industry, maybe people from the actual company. Do some research. You got to do some digging. Don't just walk into a salary negotiation completely blindfolded, or else you're going to get found out. You're going to end up settling. You're going to end up hating yourself. You're going to end up feeling really regretful. And that is going to just, put a damper on the entire negotiation. And nobody wants to start a new job that way. Nobody does. You want to start a new job feeling that you got your worth and feeling that things went well, specifically in this part of the process. Okay, so make sure that you do your due diligence. So let me just give you an example. Okay, so for example, if the salary range is between $65,000 and $80,000 per year, you obviously want 80, but maybe you'd be willing to accept 70,000. So when you're negotiating, you just need to consider. What are the highlights of this is the maximum that I want? This is what I always say, go higher. It's much easier to negotiate down than it is to negotiate up. Don't ever forget this, Nez Nation. It's always easier to negotiate down than it is to negotiate up. So put a higher value. If the median range is 75,000, go a little bit higher. If you don't want to necessarily start with the top number, although that couldn't hurt, and definitely use your own intuition and feel out the situation, but always start with a higher number. Don't start with the lowest number. Otherwise, they might be like, wow, she only asked for 60. I was willing to pay her 70, but sure, here you go. Here's your offer letter. That would be just detrimental, and especially if you found out later that they were willing to pay you more, which I've seen this happen a million times. I don't want that to happen to you. Put a higher number. It's much easier to negotiate down again than it is to negotiate up. And so here's another thing too. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Here's another thing too that you want to consider when you're negotiating your salary, and that is to take into view put it in perspective, the entire package. If you have a certain company that man, I've always wanted to work for this company. The culture is amazing. The brand is amazing. The products and services are amazing. The company culture is amazing. And, that's a place that you've always wanted to work. You may be willing to come a little bit down on salary, because I know this from firsthand experience and working from plenty of clients. When you're working somewhere that is very nurturing, that has a flourishing, positive, optimistic environment with zero toxicity, that is worth maybe even more than salary. And so keep that into consideration. And also, you want to keep into consideration the benefits and the entire package. What are the mobility factors? Are they lateral? Are they longitudinal? Is there upward mobility? Is there progression in your role? Are there stock options? Are there, pension options? Whatever that may be, keep that in mind when you're negotiating your salary and when you're talking specific numbers. I've actually had clients who have taken a lower salary because the company was so conducive to their upward mobility and the progression of their career. The commute, that's a factor. The people that they were going to be working with is a huge factor. I mean, you got to understand, a lot of people don't realize this, but especially in today's age, in today's era, the people that you see at work, those are sometimes people that you see more than your own family. And so that's a big deciding factor. Are the people that you're going to be working with people that you're going to be able to really flourish, build real relationships with, be able to collaborate with, and, basically just feel like you're not going to want to choke them one day, okay? Are these people that you're going to like to work with? That's really, really important when deciding on, these types of negotiations, going back and forth. So consider that. Keep that in mind, because it's super, super important. You may come down $5,000-$10,000 in salary just for exchange for the rest of that beautiful package. Don't be afraid to do that, and don't think that you always have to get the high number. Again, perspective is very, very important. Look at the totality of the situation. Here's a specific example of what I mean by being able to walk away and not, acting out of desperation. I had a specific client who I work with. Again, I'm an executive career coach, and I help clients with their brand, their resume, their LinkedIn profile, job search, interview, etc. And this happened actually not that long ago. I had a client who had a specific number in mind, and they weren't willing to budge at all. The company wasn't willing to budge at all. And we discussed it. I consulted him, and he ended up walking away from that. Come 6 months in the future, fast forward 6 months in the future, because he took that stand and wasn't willing to settle, which I advised him. I said, I don't think you should settle. I think they definitely can afford to pay you more, and they're playing hardball. And I think you need to really understand where your goals align and what your values are, what your objectives are, and what your worth is, and really cementing your worth. He ended up walking away from that. And then 6 months later, not only did they offer him, they called him up, and not only did they offer him the number that he wanted, but they actually exceeded it. And they even beefed up the package, because they realized that, wow, we really missed out on a good opportunity. And they ended up hiring somebody else for a lower number, and that actually costed the company very, very detrimentally. And it ended up being just a huge headache for the company. And they realized, man, we should have went with the right person. We should have given that individual what they were worth. So always keep that in mind. And then the last thing I just want to say is always trust your own antenna. What do I mean by that? Trust your own intuition. Trust your own feelings. If something doesn't feel right, don't accept. If something smells fishy and you've got that inner voice, this is not woo-woo, this is real. I have literally used this to guide my entire life, my entire businesses, everything that I've done in my entire life have been guided by, it's usually when I don't listen to my intuition is when things really go awry. When I never fail when I actually listen to my intuition. And so trust yourself. Is this the right fit? Is this the right salary? Are they kind of stiffing me here? Are they being fair? Are they being objective? Always trust that. And last but not least, please, please value yourself. If you don't value yourself, nobody else will. I hope you got a lot out of this video. Again, I just want to be very, very clear and stress that we've got a ton of videos in the description down below, all on career advice, all on LinkedIn branding, job search, interview help, video interviews, working from home, jobs remote. We've got a ton of videos. Career advice abound. In the description below, go down and I will leave a link to that. Also, you'll see some videos here on the end screens in just a second. Make sure you click on these videos. You're going to get a ton of value. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out those videos, and good luck, and go get that salary.